Hi, I've come today to talk to you about the strength in Heidi Rosen's network along the different stages of her career. So when the case study opens, we see networking in its simplest form. Heidi was interested in a job at Tandem and she reached out to a friend that worked there. The friend gave her a number for the hiring manager. She called the hiring manager and then they hit it off and she received the job at Tandem. The job insisted of her writing the company newsletter, which gave her a very rare opportunity that most new hires don't get to experience. She had a very unique relationship with the top management and she used that to her advantage. She came to meetings prepared and she was ready to show them what she was made of, and she was building her reputation in the process. As she was building her reputation, she asked the CEO to be able to write her a letter of recommendation for graduate school, and he agreed to it. After she went to graduate school, she used her familial connection in order to start a business, which they called Teamaker. The company was a smaller company and they were looking for different unique things to be able to advertise their company, and so Heidi took it upon herself to use her outgoing personality to make friends with members of the press so that she could get to know them and then introduce them to Teamaker. They could write reviews and publish them so that more customers could be aware of the product. Another thing that Heidi did at Teamaker was she enrolled in conferences and got to meet lots of interesting people, as well as figuring out what new technological things were going around at the time. Because she was interested in people and she truly had a passion and a genuine interest in people, she got to know them just because they were smart and just because they were interesting, which would later help her in expanding her network, because you never know where a person is going to end up. And so a lot what happened in the software industry is that some of the people that she met at these conferences weren't anybody at the time, but went on to be very influential people in the software industry. Another thing that Heidi did was she joined groups, software groups and boards. One of those was the SPA, which she was later elected president of. So as a president of the SPA, she got to be able to rally behind software issues that she was extremely passionate about, and that allowed her, as being the president of this organization, to reach and tap into the current industry leaders and show them why she was passionate and how she was organized and building a reputation at that way also. Over the years and her different progressions throughout her career, she sold Teamaker and she moved to Apple. At this time, her network was already large enough because she had proved herself as a CEO of a Silicon Valley company, and so she had already put much effort into her network and was able to tap into that when she went to Apple. When she went to Apple, she was very passionate about the company as a whole and what they were doing. Although they were doing a little bit of a downturn, she tapped into her network and got other software industry leaders to say that they were still going to be committed. And she was only able to do that because she had proven in the past, and her track record had showed for it. Heidi was able to figure out what people wanted along the way, and she built up a very large Rolodex, but she was very mindful of her Rolodex also. She was constantly looking out for the best interest of other people, and well as people that she really liked, she made lots of different career opportunities for them. If she would see that a company had an interest or something over here, and she had a friend that had those same skill sets, she would very much make the connection. She was very protective over her network, and she always looked out for win-win, which I'm sure that her contacts and her network were very appreciative of her. The second question I was going to answer today has to do with how does the case study tie to the concepts in Module 5 and how these concepts influenced her power, her influence, and her networking success. So we'll start out at Tandem. She built her reputation early. And she built it on liking principles. So she came prepared. She showed the CEO what she had and what she was made of, and she was able to win friends by liking and persuade them. She enjoyed meeting people of all kinds, as long as she felt that they were interesting and smart. And she met a lot of these individuals through shared activities. The shared activities of joining the boards or joining the conferences and meeting that way and sharing the same interests of having different information about software. Heidi is considered an other-ish giver. She built a support network along the way, and she was able to tap into that network when she needed to, when she was at Apple. She wasn't afraid to. She got to know people on a deeper level, and so she was able to figure out what the best interests of both parties were, the requester and the receiver, and she was able to provide win-win. She was very protective and would not, agree to go into her contact or into her Rolodex of network unless she felt that the instance met both parties and there was a both win-win outcome. And like I said before, I think that this was very well known amongst her network, and so that the individuals were appreciative of that fact that she wasn't going to make the connection unless it really was a win-win for both parties. And so when she actually did make the connection, the people on both sides were willing to listen and see about the opportunity. When Heidi reached her capacity, she made sure that she stayed connected to other super connectors in her network. So even if she was limited and she couldn't do the things that she wanted to by being consistent and responding to all requests and making sure that she was performing at her top level, she was staying in contact with those super connectors so that they could reach out to other people in their network, and so she was being efficient with her time. Heidi also decided to chunk her giving into pieces, and so that it made her happier. She enjoyed throwing dinner parties, and so this chunking, by having the dinner party and having the social event, but also inviting individuals who she thought would benefit from the interaction, and she let these individuals as well. And the best part of it all, and made her a true otherish giver, is that she made the guests actually help provide the meal, so she wasn't the only one who had to build it all together. Heidi seems like a pretty amazing woman, and I enjoyed learning a lot about her networking skills. Thanks.